I sprinted into the emergency department and just said who I was there for, and I asked if he was okay, and they said no.
A man riding a scooter suffers brain damage after getting hit by a suspected drunk driver in Northeast Portland. Coming up, the alarming details that court documents reveal about the driver.
It has been 80 years since the liberation of Auschwitz in occupied Poland. NBC's Jay Gray is going to join us live from Eastern Europe with more on this coming up at 6:15.
It was very emotional. I had some tears running down my face, but it was super exciting just to get out and have my kids running toward me to give me a big hug.
Yeah, we were there during the emotional reunion between local firefighters who went down to help in California and their families. KGW News at Sunrise starts right now. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on your Monday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. We have Ashley Grams filling in for Chris McGinnis on traffic this morning. Rodney Hill standing by right there with a first look this hour at your weather.
I tell you what, this forecast just keeps repeating. It's my way of saying we have clear skies again. We have frosty conditions out there again. But this afternoon, a lot of us will hit 50 degrees again. Here's the good visibility looking at the state capitol. Frost on the grass there, 28 degrees from our live camera in Salem. PDX, great visibility this morning. We're at 29 degrees. Calm winds out of PDX and in downtown, but we do have east winds gusting out near the Gorge, Gresham, Troutdale, those areas, etc. But for the Rose City, we have a KGW weather impact alert through about 9 o'clock this morning. Our way of reminding you, we have another cold, frosty start. Frost can be icy on surfaces. Of course, you'll need the big coat, maybe some extra time to scrape off the ice off of your car and that type of thing. 44 degrees at noon. 50 later today will feel fantastic. Here's Ashley.
Yeah, and a reminder that we might see some slick roadways as well. We'll start on the interstate bridge here in North Portland, a little bit busier in those southbound lanes. And then as we head out to 84 at 82nd Avenue as well, not tracking any unexpected delays so far this morning, but a reminder that it might take you a little bit of extra time to get there because of those slick roadways. Here's Interstate 5 in Wilsonville, and your drive times as well looking clear this morning. Drew, China.
All right, thank you, Ashley. Police are investigating a deadly crash in southeast Portland that happened last night, they say shortly after 6:30 near southeast Boise and Cesar Chavez Boulevard. When officers got there, they found a pedestrian who had been hit. She was taken to the hospital and later died from her injuries. Police say the driver did stay at the scene.
In Lincoln City, police arrested a Beaverton man after he allegedly drove around a public beach while drunk. This is a map of where the crash happened. Witnesses say the driver, Artem Savenko, was speeding along the D River beach. He also spun around the beach and narrowly missed families who were there. While officers tried to stop him, an open bottle of vodka fell out of the car. Savenko eventually stopped, was arrested, and booked on DUI, reckless driving, and reckless endangering. A man is fighting for his life after he was hit by a suspected drunk driver while pushing a Lime scooter on the way home from an event. This happened at the intersection of Northeast Haslow and Grand. 27-year-old Mitchell Carlson suffered multiple fractures and brain damage. After a week in intensive care, he was transferred to trauma recovery and acute care unit. We spoke to Carlson's mother, who says she and her husband flew in from Montana to see him.
I had to give consent over the phone. It was horrible. First time we saw him was in the neurotrauma ICU. Of course, he was unconscious. He was on a ventilator. His head was shaved. He had drains coming out of his head.
According to court documents, the driver, 47-year-old Isaac Quinton Ellis, smelled of alcohol and was slurring his words when he was taken into custody. He has since been released. Court documents also reveal that back in 1996, Ellis served time after being convicted of first-degree manslaughter and third-degree assault. Carlson's family is raising money through a GoFundMe. We have a link to their website.
The Port of Hood River says it's permanently closing the toll booth on the Hood River Bridge starting April 1st as the port transitions to fully electronic tolls. The booth has already been closed at night since 2023. The port says that this full closure will save about $100,000 a year, money that can be used for bridge maintenance and plans for a new bridge. Coming up at noon today, thousands of striking healthcare workers and union leaders will rally at Providence Medford Medical Center.
Providence doctors and nurses are in their third week picketing as they continue to call for better wages, benefits, and safer staffing levels. On Friday, Oregon's congressional delegation sent a letter to Providence leadership urging the healthcare system to engage in good faith bargaining with the union. Yesterday, we talked to Representative Maxine Dexter to get her thoughts on the matter.
It should be no surprise as a critical care physician who has worked every day throughout my life with nurses that I stand with nurses, I stand with our healthcare teams. We absolutely need to make sure that they have safe places to work. Staffing is critical for that, as well as good paying jobs so that we can recruit and retain the quality healthcare providers our community deserves.
The union representing the striking workers claims Providence is not approaching negotiations seriously. In a statement, Providence said it's working closely with federal mediators, but the union's current proposals are not financially stable. Yesterday marked 365 days without any sewage overflow into the Willamette River, and to celebrate, the Human Access Project invited the public and local leaders to take a dip at Willamette Park. Now, the lack of sewage overflow is thanks in part to the Big Pipe project. The $1.4 billion project drastically reduced the frequency of sewer overflows. And speaking of jumping in the Willamette, Drew has done that a few times, I believe.
Oh boy.
In a Speedo?
Oh yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. It's right there. The proof is in the video. Ooh, you got to get down, China. If you're going to do that polar plunge, that was for Special Olympics Oregon. Close your mouth. That's for a good cause.
It looks better there. So you have shorts on?
Yeah, board shorts.
Yeah.
You like the board short looks better than the Speedo looks.
Yeah.
My director, Brian Matthews, tells me it's safe to turn back around now. Okay, thank you.
Oh yeah, that was the year. It was a COVID year. We did it with masks on.
In the water.
Went diving in the water with masks. So yeah, that was for Special Olympics Oregon. That polar plunge, by the way, coming back to Portland on February 22nd. I'll be emceeing the event this year, and I was going to ask you later today, as a matter of fact, but now I'll ask you in front of everyone. If you want to co-MC that event with me, you don't have to go in the water. You just have to be there on February 22nd.
We'll see.
The people would love to see you there, Shonda.
Okay, all right. Okay.
She's in, Rod.
All right.
That was easy.
I will support you both from home with a nice cup of tea.
Rod T.
I do not like cold water. I've never done that. I will do whatever you need me to do. I'm not jumping in cold water in the middle of winter. All right, here's a look at our day planner. And we have the red panel lit up this morning, KGW Weather Impact Alert. Just our way of reminding you it's another cold, frosty start. You know the drill. Big coat. Maybe you need extra time to get your car warmed up and the frost off of the windshield. A reminder that frost, especially on sidewalks, can be quite slippery. I noticed PBOT has put down some de-icer out there this morning for the frosty conditions. But just like that, we warm up. From 9 o'clock on, it quickly starts to get comfortable. 44 degrees at noon, and with no wind for most of us, under clear skies, we'll hit 50 or better this afternoon. Here's where we're starting off. 22 in Hillsboro, calm conditions. 36 in Gresham, you know the deal. The warmer temperatures out on the east side because east winds are blowing this morning out of the gorge, and it makes it feel like you're in the 20s like the rest of us are. So everybody's got a chilly start out the door. 28 degrees in Salem. Here are the east winds this morning on Futurecast showing gusts 25 to about 30 miles per hour coming into East Multnomah County, and that may continue today, although to me it makes most sense that winds this afternoon eventually won't be as gusty as they have been or are currently this morning. Temperatures 50s at the coast. This shows 49 Portland and Salem at 3 o'clock, but I think both of us will get up into the 50s, about 40 degrees out east. Just clear skies, no travel related issues other than some slick spots potentially with frosty conditions early this morning. Little change in our forecast. More cold, clear nights, more 50-degree afternoons through Wednesday. Clouds start to increase Thursday, and then finally the precip is back. We have rain at times by the time you wake up Friday morning through the weekend. This will come with lowering snow levels, 3,000 feet on Friday. And then by Sunday morning, we could have snow down to 1,200 feet. That would be potential snow over the higher passes of Highway 6 and 26 over the Coast Range. That's this weekend.